Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Barkera's podcast, the podcast that brings you education, advice, and perspectives, all to increase your awareness and understanding about preventative pet care in order to become an elevated pet owner. I'm your host, Elisa Van Dyke, and I'm once again joined by a Barkera podcast veteran at this point, Liz Robles, owner of the oldest Cane Corso Rescue. Welcome back, Liz.
Hi, so happy to be back and ready to jump right into this special aspect of CCR.
Me too. In the last episode, we began our discussion of the owner's role as we broke down the adoption process. But today, we're going to be highlighting that special aspect that you alluded to, which is fostering. We'll be discussing what it means to be a foster by looking at the application process that your rescue uses. But before we dive into the specificities of your organization, do you mind just sharing a general overview of what it means to be a foster?
Absolutely. So fostering entails providing temporary care to a dog with the aim of helping that Corso, that dog, become more adoptable. So this may mean working on fearful behavior. It also, we want to get this all done before they go to the forever home, right? So we are looking for people, of course, once again, who are willing to commit to a minimum of a month of foster care. Of course, it can be longer, it can be shorter, but it is often longer. But we want people who will make the Corso part of their family for the time period that they are with that foster family. And that helps in getting the Corso back on track, back to being healthy, well socialized, and then also hopefully well trained. I really want to emphasize that fostering is an absolutely amazing thing to be part of. It really is. It's such a community thing. It's awesome. And I think everybody that does it, they feel so good when that dog eventually goes home. So, we're looking for people with a variety of backgrounds. I mean, we love it when they have guardian breed experience. We want them to know that we need patience, or the dog needs patience, time, and then just their effort to get these dogs back to where they need to be adoptable.
Yeah. I mean, I love how you highlighted some of the qualities needed to be a foster home, right? Still having that love and that time to commit to the dog, especially because as a foster, you are the dog's lifeline in the beginning, helping guide them away from that fearful and negligent state that they were put in. I'm sure that as a foster home, though, there are some other unique requirements that you look for.
Yes. I think, like I have mentioned with the potential adopters, we're looking for those who have a passion for the breed. And we want them to also possess the time needed to handle the experience and that time to handle a guardian breed. We want someone who's willing to continue to educate themselves by reading and practicing our guidelines that, of course, we have worked on for over 20 years. We also want those who want to share their knowledge with others. So for fostering, we also heavily emphasize frequent communication with the organization. So not only with me, but with others in our community. This is because we're gaining as much information about that Corso that we possibly can from what the families are exposing them to, all different stimulus, environments, people, animals, children of all ages. And so being able to not only have the time to do this necessary training and rehabilitation is really important, but also the ability to communicate what you're seeing when you're doing these things, right? And let us know so that we can work on that forever match. So knowing how much stimulation is needed, we are ideally looking for those with their own home that has a fully fenced in yard. Of course, it's case by case, but that is ideal. And then also we definitely want to have good references. So again, both vet and personal references, we want to be good. We do reach out to them. So that is important. And then of course, I want to note again that our foster homes, when you are a foster, CCR, Cane Corso Rescue, remains we are financially responsible for that dog. So we take care of all the vet bills. In addition, we will do our very best to provide funds for training if that's needed, or behaviorist if that's needed. So we just want that Corso to be ready to go home.
Yeah, and so let's say that someone checks these boxes, right, to foster, and they have these traits and they're interested in becoming a part of this process. what would you recommend they do? What is that next step that they should be taking?
Absolutely. So in the previous episode that we talked about adoption, I did go into this in much greater detail. So hopefully you've seen that. If you haven't, I recommend you go watch it, but I'll just briefly go over this again because it's pretty much the same for fostering as it is for adopting. So we would love for you guys to head over to our website and read our FAQs, learn more about the breed, read all you can, visit Facebook groups, do all that good research. And then we want you to apply, obviously on our website. We need all the information, the emails, fill everything out, please, that we ask, because we do reach out. So here's the biggest difference for fostering. Usually it's time sensitive. So we are going to get through this quickly. So we are going to make these priority. We try not to have the wait like we do for adoption. And so we will get through these as quick as we can, sometimes 24 hours or less. It also depends on, if we're hearing back from the references. We do a quick interview, and that's just to be sure that we're giving you a foster dog that's appropriate and that your family wants. And then we do a quick home visit.
Yeah, so perfect. It's very similar to the adoption process, of course. Would you also recommend that they prepare their homes similarly, or are there any extra precautions or steps that a foster home should take before taking in their Cane Corso?
Absolutely. So again, similar situation if you watch the other podcast. So we want to be sure everyone in the family has they're aligned on training, communication. They're all willing to be involved. We also would like to know that you have a crate ready, you have a dog bed. Hopefully you've talked to your vet, you're ready for any vet appointment that might occur. Again, CCR will cover that if it's needed, and we will absolutely financially pay for that. Maybe you have a specific dog food you want to feed. We also help with that and make recommendations. But maybe you just want to feed a certain food. That's great. Prepare the home, put away trash cans, anything tempting for that foster dog. Personal clothing objects, that's another big thing. Socks, shoes, all that kind of stuff, because those can be really tempting. Children's toys, things like that. So also one thing I want to bring up is during the quick foster interview is I will specifically discuss with that family if there are children in the home or small dogs or other animals. I will go into more detail with that family about those things. We have a much more particular process in those cases, but it also is all covered in the foster handbook. So you'll get that, you'll have that. I do take children, small animals that are already integrated into the home. So those that live there already, I take that into very, very special consideration. So we do have a process there, and we're careful about that.
Perfect. I mean, I love that you even have a handbook. Like, the process you've created is just so wonderful, and you just provided some really amazing tips. And with the tools that you provided as well, and having community groups like the Corso Puppy Training Club on Facebook and Barkera, I mean, people have access to so much education, advice, and perspectives to help the Cane Corso during this rise and rehabilitation process. So like you mentioned, fostering is a magical process and so important for the well-being of these animals. I truly think that after today, anyone can get started and be a part of this. But before we truly end this episode, I just have one more question for you. How would you recommend that we further increase this awareness on the need for more fosters and make it more appealing to want to be a foster?
Wow. Yes. I love this question because I cannot stress enough. I cannot stress this enough, that our foster community is truly the heart and soul of Cane Corso Rescue. We really need to grow this community. That's super important, especially in the areas like Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, California. These happen to be the states that we're currently getting the most owner surrenders from. So most abandoned Cane Corsos in those states. So I would say just don't be afraid to apply. Please apply to foster. I'll talk you through it. I'll help you through it. We can brainstorm all that good stuff. We have an amazing supportive community, and they all want to pitch in and help because we all want fosters. We all want to save more Cane Corsos, and everyone starts someplace. I mean, I was barely in my 20s when I was pretty much thrown headfirst into this breed. I mean, it was like I just plunged right in. So, you got to start somewhere. And as long as you're a confident dog person and you're eager to learn, willing to be part of a community, you got this. You'll make a great foster parent. So I will also promise you'll have a lot of fun. It's a magical thing, and it's amazing to be able to help, this breed and help care for them. So you have the tools. I promise we'll provide them. And I say, if you think you can do it, go for it.
Well, Liz, thank you again for just an amazing conversation and some more insight into your experience. It's always a joy having you, and I love that. I truly think people should go for it because it is an amazing process. So thank you.
Thank you as well. I hope more people are inspired to apply, especially to foster.
Exactly. And if you all want to support Liz and become a part of this process, definitely head over to her website at canecorsorescue.org. You can find all of the forms and information needed to start as either a foster home or a future adopter today. Join the Cane Corso Puppy Training Club on Facebook group just for some more breed-specific education and advice. And you can also buy apparel at our e-commerce store, where each purchase adds to our rescue fund to further support this cause. And that is found at barkerashop.com. And also just make sure to share those links along with this episode to your fellow Cane Corso owners and enthusiasts, and just let us know any topics or guests that you would love to hear coming up. Thank you, everybody.